My name is Jess. My pronouns are she, they, and I am the Austin Fellow for Ignite this year. So happy to be here. Happy to see all of y'all in our college chapter kickoff series digital organizing event today. I went ahead and dropped some forms in the chat, and I'm just going to recap what those are. The first link is our general Ignite forms. There is a participant form for everyone who is involved with Ignite this year, and a college chapter enrollment form for those college chapters, so we know who you are and we can provide support to you. Those are important for us just so we can keep in touch and y'all can keep I guess in the know of what's going on. We can invite you to future cool events like this. We also wanted to emphasize that for the first 10 participant forms your college chapter completes, you will receive $25 if you're from a college chapter. And let me remind you that just by participating in this event today, you will receive $50 per chapter. So don't forget to register for that, which is that second link that I sent. And I hope y'all take a second to do that as we're getting started today. But let's go ahead and get going. So the next thing I want to do before we launch into our awesome material and I pass it along to some amazing presenters is some of our technology setup. So if folks don't mind and you feel comfortable sharing, we always encourage renaming yourself to include your pronouns, just so we can have a more inclusive and accessible space for everyone. Additionally, if you need accommodations and would like to use our closed captioning, we have that available as well. So if you have any questions with that, feel free to DM me if you need assistance getting those things going for you. We also want to make sure you receive that money for your college chapter. So add the name of your chapter in your Zoom title to make sure we know where everyone is from. And it also helps to get to know people, right? Awesome. And I think I am going to go ahead and pass it along.
So we have a check-in. My name is Tari Strickland, and I'm the Midwest Regional Director. And how are you guys feeling right now? Are you feeling, oh my God, are you feeling like Oprah, like, yay, I'm so glad I'm here with you guys today. So in the chat, tell us how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 5. And what are you feeling? Tell us a little bit about the what. Oh, wow. It's midnight. Wow.
Thank you for joining us, even though it's midnight.
So you're feeling a little bit of that, but it's a great place to be. Group projects, exams. For some, it's been a pretty good week. Woohoo. We got some 3s, some meh. It's just okay. We got some folks just excited. That's good. Keep on sharing, keep on sharing. We want to make sure you guys are just feeling excited. That's what I'm talking about, Shania. Just feeling good about the experience. Well, we want you guys to feel good. We want you guys to feel like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm here with you guys today as well. So that's great. So I'm gonna pass it along. Thank you guys for sharing your feelings. It's gonna be an interactive activity. And so as we continue on, when we ask, go ahead and put some information in the chat for us. And also whatever questions you have, go ahead and ask them in the chat as we go along.
Julia, can you share the mission of Ignite with us?
Yes, absolutely. So hi, everyone. My name is Julia Parada, and I am the Raleigh-Durham Fellow here at Ignite. I'm so excited to see you all tonight. And I'm just so appreciative of this space. Before we start today, I just want to introduce Ignite. to those who have just started with us, or reintroduce Ignite to those of you who have been here with us. So Ignite is a movement of young women from all across the country who are ready to share their ideas and share their visions for their communities to become the next generation of political leaders. And we also have a video for you about what we do here at Ignite. So if you wouldn't mind, thank you, Jess.
I was in elementary school and I think someone asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, the governor of California. So I had adults laughing at me all the time because they just thought it was so cute.
Sometimes you feel so alone thinking, hey, I'm in politics, I'm a girl, I like these issues.
I was not told that I could do it at a young age. I was never encouraged to
What the fuck they
be
saying?
a leader as a woman.
I started Ignite because I'd worked in women's political organizations at the national and state and local level, and I was just frankly getting frustrated with the fact that we had so few women in office. It just seemed sensible to me that what we needed to do was start younger and start getting young women to think about it.
These spaces weren't made for us. These spaces aren't going to be given to us, so we need to step up and we need to take them.
Because at the end of the day, nothing is set in stone. Your rights can be taken away. Even if you don't take an interest in politics, politics takes an interest in you.
You know, I keep hearing that the future is female, and I just want to push back and say the present is female. We not only just need to run, but we need to win. My name is Wendy Carrillo, and I recently ran for Congress.
My name is Nuri Martinez, and I'm city councilwoman for the city of Los Angeles.
I would love to be like a congresswoman one day.
The Senate is something that I've thought about and like far away from now.
Don't wait. The moment is now. If you want to run for office, do it where you are. If you're in high school or middle school or college, run for office on your campus. Don't wait until you feel perfectly qualified. There is no moment of perfect qualification in life. You just gotta seize it and go for it.
Still love that video every time I watch it. So thank you so much, Jess, for playing that. And I will pass it on to Jocelyn, who will share our agenda for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. So my name is Jocelyn Matthews. I am the Northeast Regional Program Director. Excited to be with you tonight. So I'll just go over our agenda for this evening. First, we'll do an icebreaker. We'll be starting off with the icebreaker, chatting about what digital recruitment is and why it's important for your chapter. And we'll also be talking about how you can understand your audience and where to reach them. And then we'll go over the tools that are available to you that will help you recruit digitally. We'll have time to kind of present that information, but also answer any questions you might have about digital recruitment. And then we'll do a quick round of Kahoot and then a group activity. So let's get started with our icebreaker. Okay, so for the icebreaker, I'd like everyone to answer these 3 questions you see on the screen. So I'll start off with an example. So like I said, my name is Jocelyn, and my preferred means of communication is texting. My favorite social media app is Instagram, and my least favorite social media app is TikTok, only because I don't have it, so that means I don't understand how it works. So it's like least favorite, not because I've tried it and just don't understand it or like it, it's because I just don't even have it. And I will popcorn to the next person. And then after whoever decides to go next, you can just keep popcorning around till everyone has gone. And while we're doing the icebreaker, let's all drop our account names in the chat so that we're able to remain in contact with each other. So whether it's the IG handle for your chapter or it's your personal IG, we would love to be able to be in contact with you for whatever social media platform you decide to use. So I will popcorn to Jess.
Awesome. So, my preferred means of communication is also text message. I just feel like I try to check my email every single day. I love Slack. I use it every day, but if you want to get a hold of me, you text me. My favorite social media is also Instagram. I've just had it for a long time, and I feel like it's like a good middle ground between a lot of the different social medias. And honestly, my least favorite is Facebook, even though actually I'm changing that. My least favorite is LinkedIn because I have recently forced myself to do it in a professional way. And I feel like it is honestly, it's hard for me just to be like, hello, this is my professional accomplishments. Like it feels like a weird, awkward, like social thing engaging with that platform. So I do it because I'm supposed to, but truthfully, it's deep down, do not like. And then I'm gonna go ahead and popcorn it. I don't have names on here because I'm screen sharing. So I'm gonna have to do someone, let's do Julia, because I know your name.
Thank you, Jess. Okay, so again, my name is Julia. My favorite, let's see, my preferred means of communication. I'm a big FaceTimer, so I love when people FaceTime or even call me. That always means a lot to me. And I love to talk on the phone. My favorite social media app, definitely TikTok. I don't make TikToks, I just watch them. Maybe I'll start one day. But it's just so funny. Like when you have a curated For You page, it's really, I don't know, it just adds so much humor to my day. And I learn all kinds of really cool things like about plants and new recipes. So love TikTok. My least favorite social media app is probably Facebook because I just don't really use it a whole lot. I don't really post on it. And every time I do, I don't know. I've like, yeah, I just have kind of mixed feelings about it. So that would definitely be my least favorite. And I love Instagram as well. So excited to get to connect with everyone, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram. So yes, and I will pass it on to Christina. I don't know if Christine is able to come off mute right now, so I will actually double popcorn and I will popcorn it to, let's see. Suman, are you able to come off mute?
I did not even realize that I've been unmuted this whole time. Hi, everyone. My name is Suman. I'm joining everybody here from Las Vegas. So preferred means of communication, texting is just very convenient. Favorite social media, I would say Instagram. And then I would say least favorite, probably TikTok. Also the same reason, I just am unfamiliar with it and I've never used it. All right, so let's see. I will choose to popcorn it off to Jocelyn. Wait, did Jocelyn go already? No, not right now.
I did go.
Oh, it's spelled differently though. Hang on. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. It's Joseline.
Oh, it's another Jocelyn.
Okay.
That makes me so excited. Okay, Jocelyn Avila, if you would like to go, you can definitely share.
I'll definitely volunteer to just get us going. My name is Tari Strickland, and I just popcorn to myself. I think my favorite is Instagram, but it's like a little battle right now because I just really got into TikTok just the other day, and Snapchat. So I don't know. But my least favorite right now is probably Facebook because it's just like so many requests and such. But I'm going to now popcorn to, let's see who's on. Shania, because that's such a pretty name. Shania, can you get off of mute and share with us what's your favorite and not so favorite?
Hi, y'all. So my favorite is actually Twitter. I love Twitter so much because it's just so funny. Like, it's just, wow, this is really how people think. Or, wow, that's literally what I thought 5 years ago. And I'm glad I feel like that's not an alone thought. People feel the same way. So Twitter is just, that space where everybody's just relatable and everybody's depressed in the same day. So it's really, it's a fun app. My least favorite is definitely Facebook because I don't get on it, don't understand it. I mean, I do understand I used to have when I was in middle school, but after middle school, it just became irrelevant because Instagram kind of, usurped it. So yeah, Facebook is just an app for, I don't know, I don't like Facebook. It's just weird, to be honest with you. It's very archaic, but yeah. Oh, sorry, popcorn. Apologize. Kayla from Temple University.
Hi, so I'm Kayla. Yeah, I'm from Temple's chapter. Preferred means of communication, probably FaceTime, depending on the person and like what they want to talk about. But if like we're talking like tea, like FaceTime me, I hate typing. So yeah. And then social media, it's probably Instagram. Ever since they turned off the like feature, I just really enjoy posting on there like freely. Like I just can post and not think about it and like feel any weird things about it. So it's been fun since they did that. And least favorite social media app is probably Snapchat. I still use it occasionally, but it's just kind of a silly app in my opinion. So yeah. Oh, and I'm going to popcorn. Maggie, if you can.
Hello, I'm Maggie. I'm from the University of Iowa's chapter. My favorite means of communication is probably just like text or phone call. If like face-to-face is not an option. I don't know, I just really love being with people in person. My favorite social media is also Twitter because I think it's just very entertaining, and I feel like a lot of people I follow on like Instagram and Facebook, like those apps seem to be like very like image oriented, and Twitter is just like super casual. My least favorite social media app is probably Snapchat, just because I don't use it very often anymore, and I don't usually use like the photos anymore. So I'm like, just text me instead of messaging me through Snapchat. But that's it. And then I will popcorn to Delilah.
Hi everyone, my name is Delilah. I would say my preferred means of communication is probably text or call because it is efficient. I would say my favorite social media app is probably Instagram. I feel like it's like can be used in a variety of ways and can spread information really quickly, which is both a good and a bad thing. Can definitely be abused for that, but yeah, and I would say my least favorite social media app is probably Facebook, just because I don't really use it that much. And to be honest, I don't really know how to use it, but I will get there. And I'm going to popcorn to, has Christina gone yet?
I don't think she's able to come off mute.
Oh, okay, then.
We fine. We'll do one more person. Delilah, so whoever you choose next will be our last person, just so we're able to move on.
Has Camille gone?
Oh, Portia just messaged saying that she would like to go.
Oh, great, Portia.
Thank you, Portia.
Yeah, I just thought I'd volunteer myself. But my preferred means of communication now is probably call, but specifically when like a text message before is like sent, so I know what to expect, just because with my job now I'm getting tons of phone calls. And it's a lot easier than having like multiple text conversations going at the same time in terms of like getting communication out. I would say my favorite social media app right now is probably TikTok, just because I do have a very targeted For You page, like somebody mentioned before. And yeah, just like a lot of information, like I can just go on and like see things that I'll like and that I'll enjoy and just kind of get lost in it for a little bit. And then my least favorite right now, even though I do think there's some great features, is probably Facebook, just because of everything recently about like the algorithm and how it's purposely putting like inflammatory like content in your timeline so that you interact more and engage more. And I mean, I've definitely seen that in my personal timeline, but I do like the groups because it does make it really easy to talk to a lot of people with like a shared interest and like find out a lot of information instead of like watching tons of YouTube videos and going on Google. But yeah, okay. That was fine.
Thank you, Portia, and thank you to everyone that did participate. If you still want to participate, you can drop your information in the chat in terms of preferred means of communication, your favorite social media app, and your least favorite social media app. I learned something new tonight about the fact you can turn off the like feature on Instagram. I think it takes away some of the pressure of being on and the likes or not likes or comments or not commenting. So that is something new that I learned. So thank you for sharing. So we'll go on to our next slide that talks about really what is digital recruitment and organizing, and the reason why you're here tonight. So recruiting that you do online using different tools and platforms, and it's also the way you can grow your chapter and connect with your community. So now we're chatting about what it is and why it matters. Simply put, digital recruitment is the way that you are able to get more people to learn about the work that you're doing and be able to grow your chapter, as I mentioned before. It's a great way to increase awareness about issues you care about, and that other people who are within your network or outside of your network even can learn about those issues that they probably also share interest and passion about as well. So some of the activists you see on social media are using digital recruitment and organizing tactics to help spread the word about important causes. So another example of digital recruitment is when your favorite brands use social media for event promotion, or even when they do an IG live with celebrities to help promote their products.
Support, and we just got to get the logos over to him.
Okay. So a lot of times I know that I don't watch regular TV anymore. So catching like commercials and things like that about things I'm interested in and what brands are putting out, I don't find out via like a TV commercial. You're finding out a lot of that stuff via like social media and the ads that they put out. So it's another way to kind of get the word out to a larger audience who might not be using a traditional platform in terms of like a TV ad. And also you got to have tons of money to put out a TV ad. But here's a way, grassroots wise, to really get people engaged with your content, with the issues that you care about, and also ways to engage them to participate and join your movement on your local college campus. So for some more relevant examples, when you use social media to promote your chapter's event, or you send out a mass email introducing your chapter to new people, that's digital recruitment too. It's another way that you're using media, social media, et cetera, to get the word out and bring awareness to your college chapter and the things that you're interested in. Digital recruitment is important because it helps you grow your online presence. So which helps you grow your chapter by reaching new people that you wouldn't be able to reach in person. So once you reach those people in your audience, that's where the work comes in to really maintain those relationships. And building off that, digital recruitment also helps you build a sense of community with your audience. So building this sense of community is what will encourage people to keep attending events and interacting with your chapter's content. So the first step in the game is the digital recruitment piece to get the word out, to bring awareness about your college chapter, the issues that are important to you and other members of the chapter, and even what's happening on your campus. The second part, which is probably the more important part, is really cultivating those relationships. So one part is the actual reach out, but it's ongoing engagement that will keep people coming to joining your chapter, but also engaging with events that you decide to hold or things of that nature. So I just want to pause here to see if there are any questions before we move on to our next slide. Nope, we're all good. Okay. Okay, so here we're going to talk about understanding your audience. So now that we know what digital recruitment is and why it's important, But how do we get started with digital recruitment, right? Digital recruitment starts with understanding your audience, and your audience is basically just who you're trying to reach or who you like to have attend your events. So it's basically the exact group of people that you know will be interested in your events and the content. By targeting your audience this way, you're increasing the chance that your outreach efforts will result in more chapter members and event registrants, which is the key part of it, right? So first, understanding what are the issues that are really concerning people within your target group, so that you're actually creating events, creating content that they will actually show up to. Because it's one thing to promote events that are issues that are concerning you and other chapter leaders or chapter members. It's another piece when you're actually able to push past that and say, well, what's going to actually grab the attention of a larger audience so that we can get more people engaged with the work that we're doing with Ignite. So we want everyone to join Ignite. Your recruitment efforts for events and for launching college chapters will be more successful when you know who your audience is. So once you define your audience, you can figure out how to reach them and how to tailor your message to them. So one way to do this is by using communications channels they are more likely to use. And again, this will help you successfully recruit for events and to grow your chapter. So oftentimes we talk here about it's like connection before content. So it really is about learning those within that group that you're trying to target, understanding their interests, their concerns, understanding what's happening on your college campus, like being really in tune. And some of this, the stuff that we're mentioning tonight might be pretty obvious to you, but we're just putting it out there for those who may not have known or trying to find other ways to engage their audiences, right? Because we want to make sure that people are coming who are interested and are aligned with the work that we're doing with Ignite, but we want to also make sure that we are bringing forth the information, the events, the content that they're interested in. And the way that we really do that is by building connection with this audience, right? Understanding their concerns and their needs so that we're making something that's salient to them. So to understand your audience, consider creating an audience persona, which we'll talk more about on the next slide. So I just want to pause here first to kind of see if there are any questions about understanding your audience, really how to engage the audience, and also about digital recruitment in general. Okay, cool. So I'll pass it to Tari to get us started in talking about understanding the audience persona.
Yes, and I'm gonna ask if you can continue to share your screen because I'm having some technical difficulties. But I like to, if that's okay, I like to talk to you guys just about persona for Ignite College chapters. Could I have a volunteer read off the slide? Maggie, let's do it. Thank you.
They're a young person 18 to 24 in the US who cares about social issues. They're worried about the state of the world and the uncertainty it's causing in their own life around school, work, or family, and frustrated about inheriting big issues like climate change that they themselves didn't create. It is understood that their lack of control of the things around them is both what holds them in a place of stagnation and places them on the verge of action. They value convenience, seeing the impact of their actions, and feeling accepted by their peers.
Yes, and so this is who we are. That is an example. We want to really reach young people, women especially, 18 to 24, right? Those highlighted areas are that care about social issues, and that is you all on this line right now. And so it's finding like-minded folks that may be worried. They may be excited. They may be just anxious about issues that are going on in today's society, but they value what we need to do, and they're on that verge to take action, right? It's all about action because Ignite is what? A movement. So I like to continue to talk about, hey, who is your target audience? So when you guys are looking for the whom, we talked about that persona, that 18 to 24. Who is that? How do we find those folks? We find them through digital and social media, emails, and we really utilize all the different tools that we've created for you in that audience. So, question for you guys. In the chat box, where do you think your audience is most active? We talked a little bit about social media outlets. Is your audience on Facebook? Some people said it's so archaic. Is your audience on Snapchat? Is your audience on LinkedIn? So in the chat box, tell us where you see your audience. Where do they live? Instagram and Snapchat, I see. Buffalo, Instagram for our LA fellow, Camille. Insta, Twitter. So a lot of folks are saying IG, Instagram. Instagram stories. I love that. Yes. And that is such a great piece of advice. Who is that? Portia. When your organizations are posting and sharing about what they're doing, hey, get on their list, because it's a two-way street. You share their great things and great news, and they share your great news about what you're doing on your campuses with the Ignite mission. Any other folks? I didn't see any Facebooks. I didn't see any emails. Are you guys not emailing anymore? Okay. So next, if we could go to the communications guide.
I got it. And let me do that.
Thank you. So what we have for you guys, and my little son, he's one, and he's gonna be in the video a few times. He is in love with Ignite and in love with working with young women as well. So you're gonna see him. But this is that communications for college chapters, toolkits, everything you need to know how to, what to with that audience that lives. So in this tool, we have that link. It's posted. And what you'll be able to do is you can create communications tasks and a timeline with this event. So if you can go to the next slide.
Sorry.
Thank you. And so in that nonpartisan, well, we like to share with everybody about just that Ignite really is a nonpartisan organization. And so when you are sharing your tool kits and sharing the message with folks, we want to ensure that you are spreading the gospel. And I'll just read out what that statement of nonpartisanship is that as a nonpartisan partner, like you all are operating with these principles in mind. And so those principles are to encourage young women to actively engage in political processes and insert themselves into the process. Then we want you guys to make sure that you're encouraging young women to advocate, because it's all about advocating for ourselves and lobbying. The third part really is about, we believe young women should actively listen in the perspectives of people that agree with what we have to offer in length and beliefs, and we're talking about those issues. And then Ignite believes our democracy will be strengthened, and sorry guys, got a little, the old people eyes, will be stronger when the United States reaches political party with equal numbers of women in office across all political parties. All activities undertaken by and for Ignite will be in alignment with these guiding values and principles in the spirit of promoting engagement in the political process. Therefore, Ignite does not take positions on individual issues. Rather, Ignite welcomes and we support all young women to determine which issue is important to them, to you, and where they sit on the political spectrum. And so in that nonpartisanship statement, we want you guys to know that it's not about political parties, but about this is a realm for us to come together and operate together as young women and just as women on issues that we all care about, okay? Next slide, please. When you're getting started, I was talking about those communications and the communication tool. What you guys can do, one, is request an Ignite logo from the communications team. You can set up your chapter social media accounts if you haven't already. I've seen that a lot of you guys have done that already. Add Ignite website link to your chapter social media so that if folks have Q&A, they can go ahead and link on to the national website. And then we want you all to follow us. Follow Ignite National on all the social media platforms. Tag us, please tag us, because you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Snapchat, and Pinterest at Ignite National. So you have all these resources at your hand, at your fingertips, not even at your hand, at your fingertips, for you guys to utilize so that you know who your target audience is, where they're at, and how that we can get communications out. This tool and all of these different opportunities, this toolkit for you is found in the chat. So look in the chat and you can click on to get the actual toolkit link so that you can have all of this as you all are structuring your organizations and making them pop. Follow, engage, and promote. So in this process, we want you guys to help us find, excuse me, help us find your posts with what hashtags. So different hashtags include declare your ambition, Ignite Fellows, Ignite in Action, Ignite the Vote, that's one of my favorites, Young Women Run, Ignite the Capitol. With all of these, you see the purposes. The purpose of I Declare Your Ambition is really when you are taking the pledge to run office or posting about ambition to run on elected office. So there's these cool Snapchats that I just found out about, and that is the perfect place for you guys to declare your ambition. I signed up last night. And so make sure that you're signing up and you're having your different groups sign up along with you. Then how to be featured on Ignite channels. So we talked about all those different channels that are available to you guys through social media. And so you can guest blog for Ignite. How awesome is that? College chapter members have a standing invitation. It's a standing invitation when you can, please, 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 to write us and tell us through the website, this is what I'm doing. You can pitch your ideas, pitch whatever news, all that greatness. And that person that is coordinating that is Kristen, and she is an awesome individual. And so she wants you guys to pitch your news, and she can put them out and about on the national website in about 2 or 3 days. So you have about 3 days for a turnaround when it comes to that greatness. In the toolkit, there is an example of that. So to just save some time, I want you guys to know that you have access. You can click on the link, get the example, and please, 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 please go to Kirsten Leah at ignitenational.org and include that brief description so that you can just write about whatever's happening politically, civically, with your generation, with your group of women that you're working with your college chapter. So we're going to talk about setting up your social media chapter accounts. We call this the donuts. If you're a hip hop person like me and like Jay Dilla, I think of donuts. With the donuts, what you guys have the opportunity to do is produce great news through what channels? We want to make sure that it's quality, not quantity. It's not about just posting every day and it just doesn't resonate with your audience. We want to make sure that there's so much quality involved as you all create these channels so that you can make sure that they're maintained. You can host things. We want to make sure that there is new content at least once a week that you all are producing with the ability to reply to engagement within 48 hours. We highly recommend Twitter and Instagram. But as you see on the donuts, there's the small donuts, you got Instagram, we have our LinkedIn, we have Facebook, Twitter. Then we have things like the Foursquare, Google Plus, YouTube, Pinterest, Spotify. Those are means where it's more the videos that you want to put together. Again, doing something once a week is good enough to get your word and events, the message out. But you can also use things like the Tumblrs and the Snapchats, Yelp, Redont It. You can use that as well. But when you're utilizing your social media platforms, think of it in that donut timeline as, you know, more likely than not, you're gonna hit your targets by utilizing the Instagram, the Facebooks, the Twitter, and LinkedIn. But all these other donuts are available to you just by hitting that at the flip of a switch. What I recommend is that when you guys are putting together your social media sites, is that you have a social media director even. With that social media director, they can be the ones that put everything on those channels, but as a team, you create those quality posts and quality pieces of news so that you can post them on your outlets and you can utilize all of the Ignite National channels. Next slide, please. What to include when you're setting up your social media channel. We talked about our logo. Please use our logo. It's for you guys. We want it to appear in your chapter's profile. Then your profile image must include your school logo, name, or copy of that really indicates who your chapter is and that you are a part of Ignite National. Ignite will create a custom logo for you if you have not already. And so what we want your username to be is what? It should be Northwestern at Ignite. It should be at Ignite Elmhurst University, at Ignite Augustana, at Ignite Clark University. So whatever institution you're at, make sure you have your Ignite and your name of the college, okay? But what you can also do is put in your bios the at Ignite National College chapter, or at College Building Political Ambition and College Women Nonpartisan, and then add to that link for the ignitenational.org. What's really cool is that with that example, we're willing to help and support you guys by building and creating that logo for you. When it comes to social media, we also want you guys to utilize it for recruitment. Why you need social media for recruitment? Your target audience is online. Increase your visibility and reach. Leverage Ignite's online network for support. With everything that's going on in this world, oh my God, we're doing everything virtual, right? So we want you guys to maintain successful programming, and sometimes that won't be in person, but it's targeting those audiences in the donut box, right? Making sure that we're increasing visibility by utilizing what was in that donut box: Facebook, Foursquare, LinkedIn, all of those different opportunities and channeling, and then that's going to leverage us for the future. And then you have social media as a tool for recruiting. It's all about growing that audience. So now that you know your target audience, who are those women? Who are those folks that are going to support you? Who are those partnerships that you may have? Sometimes the target audience may even be colleges on your campus. It might be the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. It might be the College of Medicine. It might be the law school. You never know. but sharing and growing this information while utilizing those social media tools is going to help you guys to recruit and build relationships along with working with your networks. Use all the tools at your disposal because they're here to benefit you and help your audience grow. Engage your community. So what keep your community? We always say that 80-20 rule. As long as you have 80% participation, 80% participating in your activity, participating can mean all kinds of things. It can mean a candid conversation on social media, but you want to make sure that you make the community part of the conversation, and it's not just the leadership of the organization, but it's all about who is your community, and we want to inspire them. We want to celebrate them. We want to showcase your work as a leader within the movement at Ignite. And when you're at a loss for something to share, share national content, because you can find all of this great content on our social media pages, in addition to on the national website. It's important to have materials to support your recruitment efforts: stickers, info posters, info postcards, large posters. You can do the sign up postcards or do sign up sheets. It is a digital world. You can even use Google Docs and use your iPads, or you can use your phones to have folks sign up. And then business cards, of course. When you're utilizing business cards, I let my team always know it's not even about having the physical card, but it's the potential of having a digital card so that you can share that with folks that you're going to partner with, or even just community members that you want them to get involved. You'll want digital versions of all of those materials, right? And so remember, we're here to give you all those graphics and logos and all that good stuff. You'll also find the social media calendar in the toolkit. You're going to use this calendar to map out contents across different social media platforms. And then here's an example of that template. We want to make sure that you guys have all of the tools in your box. We want to make sure you got the hammer, you got the saw, you have everything. And so that may mean helping you plot and plan your social media content, because then that's going to help grow your organization and it's going to help get the word out. This is a little bit more about our digital recruitment tools. And so when you're utilizing the calendar, it's a great way for you guys to plot and plan, as I say. Here is another example. And then what you'll also see is there's a link in there for the template. And so again, you're not creating any of this. You're just putting in your content. And so in your toolkit, you'll have this. There's going to be an example, and therefore you can plot. These are what college leaders I'm going to have. Well, I'll just even back it up. It gives what is your event, because we want to know what's the event, what is the date, and then what is your registration goal. Don't make your minimums your maximums. You never know who you're going to get just by spreading the word out by utilizing that donut box toolkit. And so how many registrants do you have in the progress? Week 1, it looks like, oh, we have 0. Week 2 looks like, or you can even do it by days. It's up to you how you want to do the countdown. But here we're giving you week by week by week. We want to plan out activities at least 5 weeks out. And so then the who's going to be involved? So we have whether it is college leaders, is it your Ignite chapter? Is it that you have a college advisor that you need to be a part of this process? You can also have other colleges and clubs. Bye. I see some people have to leave out, but remember, all of these tools are available to you in the toolkit with that link that was placed right there inside of the chat box. And then, of course, you may have speakers. And then your registered guests. Who came to your event? We want to make sure that we tackle tracking everyone so you can continue to invite them to your future programs. When it comes to branding, there are some guidelines. And so in this next slide, we go ahead and share with you what those guidelines look like. The non-negotiables. Everything you design for Ignite must use brand fonts, use brand colors, include the Ignite logo or approved college chapter logo. And remember, we're giving those things to you. So what you're going to do is email Kirsten, and you're going to make sure that you are requesting your Ignite logo if you don't already have one. But sometimes university student activities boards, they place approved college chapter logos together, so you may be able to use those as well. But talk to your fellow, or regional director will be able to walk you through the process. And then being creative. That's all about, that's so flexible. Like what you do, picking your templates, either a template utilizing Canva. I just saw Jess mention everyone's using Canva, so please use it. And then pick your photos that are just true to what you're doing and what is going to be inviting to your target audience. And then we share in the toolkit, what are the brand guidelines? So here's the fonts. You have all that goodness. Then you have the colors that you guys can utilize for your branding. These are some do's and don'ts. So in the do's and don'ts, you see that Ignite logo, what it looks like. There is the insignia under there. There is the box off. And then there's the one with nothing on there as far as taglines. What we don't want you to do is make the logo so that it is not in tune with any of these do's. So you see a don't, and a don't. But just so that in recognition, everyone can understand the brands, and they'll know whenever there's an Ignite national or college chapter event, what to look for. Hi, Aiden. Designs we love with on-point branding. So here's some examples of some like really dope branding that folks have done. And so here's a speaker announcement on Instagram. And here is another member feature on Instagram. So we talked about how can I be featured because I'm doing really cool stuff at my college chapter. This is an example of how you can be featured if you just go ahead and share that story with Kirsten. And then we have our guidelines and tips for when you are posting. We want to make sure you keep it nonpartisan. So we talked about that earlier, what our statement looks like. Go ahead and publish the statement on your websites and social media outlets, right there for the taking. Make sure that your photos and videos are number one. Read articles before you post them, because sometimes at that end of that article, it's not exactly what we thought. And so make sure you're reading through. Then give credit where credit is due. If you have a source, give that source. Is it a news special? Is it another student? Is it another woman in your organization just writing down some of her thoughts and you're posting it? Give credit where credit is due. Then check your sources for articles. Don't be fake news, right? All about fake news in these last few years. I want to let you all know to really be authentic when you're posting. And then edit. Consider installing the app Grammarly. It is our friend. And then plan ahead. Create an editorial calendar. We gave you those tools in the toolkit and examples. Remember to tag Ignite National in those photos. And collect photo and video releases before posting images of people. And so you may have at your college already a form that is filled out between students and orgs. it's beneficial to make sure that folks feel as if it's okay for us to share their pictures so that you don't have any backlash in the end. Then how often should you post about Ignite? With the channels, we talked about your Facebook page. Man, maybe like 1 or 2 times a week. Then when it comes to events, it's the same thing. When it comes to Twitter, it's a little more often. So you're doing that 3 to 5 times a week. The question is, how do we access the toolkit? Look in the chat box and you will see the link to our toolkit. You can also find it on the Ignite National website, and you're going to look for College Chapter Toolkit. And it's right there with all the different logos and other information for you guys to fill out. Then you have your chapter Instagram stories. You say do that 3, maybe 5 times with stories. LinkedIn, a little more casual, just do that maybe once a week. And that could just look like you sharing the national post, because I do that a lot. And then Snapchat, you can do that 1 or 2 times a week, just promoting, doing some fun little routines, or broadcasting who's being a part of the Run Now Snapchat. That's probably one of the most opportune moments for you guys to showcase women in your chapter. What to post? Events. Ask questions. You're going to promote your speakers. You're going to spotlight your college member chapter leadership. You're going to recruit volunteers through social media. You're going to share event recaps. And you're also going to share some of the relevant articles that you may come across while you're on social media or in news media sites. And then share everything that we mentioned a little bit about when it comes to the Ignite National post. And make sure you tag national, because that way we can, exactly, Aiden, tag. And you'll also find Ignite has stickers available on Instagram. So just type in Ignite National to see stickers you can add to your post. Another fun resource that I've been utilizing lately. And so again, how to be featured on social media. We're going to make sure that we are sharing all of our fun and latest TikToks. Do you want your Ignite family to do a challenge with you? Get into contact with us about ideas and we can make it happen. We can definitely make it happen. So let us know what you want to do. And then as far as filming, and then you have your IG live. Take over, baby. And so you want to make sure that we're sharing your accomplishments and things and really what you're most passionate about, sharing those and getting us connected to the Ignite family, because it's a national family affair. It's not just your chapter. We're everywhere and we're here online so that you guys can access a lot of these different tools. Yes, thank you for coming, Maggie. I'm like reading chats as well, because again, with online tools, you have Canva. Utilize the free account at canva.com. Just mentioned it, like they rock out utilizing Canva. Many things just look so professional utilizing that service. Then you have later.app. It's the #1 marketing platform on Instagram. And so you can also utilize that app. There's just so many apps. Canva also has an app for your phone. So you can use that along with any of the desktop versions. All registered college chapters will be added to the Ignite regional DM groups on Instagram. And so if you haven't already, you will be getting all the great info and posts right to your DM on what's going on so that that can resurface and you can share that with your different constituents, that target audience. And make sure that everything is relevant because it's all about creating a space with relevant information so that we can network, get to know each other, and connect. Sample materials are also a part of this. And so in the sample materials, you will see what you'll need. Posters. Here's an example of one. And so there's also a template. And so you'll have access to all of these different templates and the how-to. Here's some great examples. I love these. It just speaks to women doing great things. And then, as I mentioned, the person that you guys are coordinating with is Kirsten. So these are all of her areas. Email Kirsten Leah at Ignite National. Text her, call her at 206-499-9636 and DM from your social media accounts. And if you prefer, we have a lover of Facebook, and that's Deshani. And so you can email her or you can text her as well. It's Deshani at ignitenational.org or call her 407-692-6786.
Awesome. And I think that now I'm going to go ahead and pass it along to Julia to screen share.
Yes, thank you so much, Tari and Jess. Let's see. It's always a journey figuring out which screen to share. Let's see, desktop 2. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Looks good.
Amazing. Thank you. Awesome. So thank you so much. Next, I'm going to walk through our event communications planning worksheet. Ignite College chapters really throw the most interesting and amazing community events for their college chapter members, for their local communities, from focusing on advocating for legislation to elected official panels, and really advocating for voting and sharing resources with that as well. And you all put so much work into these events by organizing speakers and presentations and creating just really empowering spaces for your chapter members. So it is so important to create targeted messaging and promotion for your events so you can really maximize the impact and reach of your events. So this template that you see on my screen is a super organized way of doing that. So you and your exec board can both collaborate and send details, flyers, registration links for your events. I will go over kind of how the template is organized first. Right here is your event name. So I can kind of use an example of an event I hosted last year called Meet the Mayors. I kind of liked the alliteration of the double M. So that was the name I decided on. And then the date, it was back in October, and registration goal. So I had a specific registration goal. I wanted 15 attendants from each or attendees from each college chapter in North Carolina. So 15 from UNC, Duke, and NC State. And so 45 was my registration goal. And so I realized in order to realize this registration goal, I really had to make sure I was organized in my approach and was developing really consistent and engaging messaging for those I wanted to attend. So that's really the purpose of this template. I'll first go over, again, these organizational tools. First is your audience and platform. So again, that's who you're reaching out to. That can be college leaders, community leaders, your Instagram following, if you have a Twitter, Facebook for your chapter, people who follow you there. Something that I think is so helpful if you have not used this before is reaching out to your local, whether it's at your chapter, or other schools, if you're doing a regional event, looking up the political science or the voting or the student government or other listservs and reaching out to them and sending a little blurb about your event, because then they're able to send it to a ton of other people who you will probably not ever have the contact information of. So that was super, super helpful for me. So I always include, a few listservs that I know will always support my event and send it out to people in my audience. Then what will you tell them? So right here, it says 6 weeks before your event. So 6 weeks before your event, you may be posting on social media. Before then, you may not be, but if you are, that's just kind of like keeping an eye out for registration coming up. you know, telling them about the event, kind of if you have speakers locked down, telling them about those speakers and kind of those loose details. It's kind of more of a save the date kind of post and messaging more than anything. And then your point person. So this is, you know, who in your college chapter will be the point of not only directing the messaging and doing all of that, writing this draft message, but also who will be the point of contact in case, you know, people have questions or people, you know, want to reach back out regarding registration for the event or want to promote it more. So definitely establish a point person. Here's where you draft your message. I've realized that drafting a really concise, clear, but super engaging message is the best way to do it, because it really gets, you know, college chapter members and other community members super excited about the event, but they're not confused, or you know, people, if it's a few paragraphs and they're scrolling through Instagram or even checking their email, usually can lose interest. So I definitely recommend making that concise, and then you can mark when it's done, so everyone else in your college chapter knows, you know, hey, I reached out to this group of people, and we can move on to another group. So if you notice, there's tables for each, like 5 weeks, 4 weeks before your event. Usually I start at 4 weeks or 3 weeks, only because it's hard to lock down dates for events if you're renting spaces, or sometimes schedules change. So I like to, you know, officially start posting once the date is certain, and that's usually 4 to 3 weeks before the event. And so I start here and create like messaging for each time period before. And what that does is it just allows really consistent messaging. You want people to be seeing your event consistently. You want it to be in their feed, so much that they're like, okay, I already register, I'm good. Or, oh, constantly reminding them that they need to register if they haven't. Or, oh, I need to share this with other people because I think so-and-so would be interested. So there's a lot of power in, you know, posting, whether, you know, the first time it's an Instagram picture, and then next it's a story, and maybe it's an IG takeover, and really setting that in stone and scheduling that so you have a diversified yet consistent approach to your messaging. And so with all these steps, I was able to do like kind of a pre-Instagram takeover, talking kind of about the mayors, where they came from, their kind of give a, I don't know, preview to their political journeys. I created a graphic 1 week for Canva. I actually, another good idea is, or I think it's good, at least it helped me with my registration, is like a raffle, like announce a raffle and say, this really cool prize is going to be at the event. And if you create a graphic with that, you can, you know, simultaneously reintroduce the event and then get people to register. So that is this template. Sorry, stop screen sharing. You're back to my face, but yeah, super helpful. With this tool, you can really just include, you know, proposed social media efforts, email outreach, which groups you'll reach out to, and all of these at the end of the day are really crucial components of a good communications plan, which is the key to success and making sure that you reach your goals with each and every event. I want to make one more note. The template will be made available to you. We'll just send it in the chat box. And please do not type on the template, or else we'll all be like working on different events and it'll be really confusing for everyone. So please just go to File and then make a copy, and you can put it in your folder chapter and then make a copy whenever you have a new event. So yes, we will definitely pop that into the chat box so you all can use it and stay super organized with your events.